Have you ever seen the picture of that cardboard sign held up at a football game that said, "Our expectations for you were low, but holy bleep"? That was the 2024 Carolina Panthers. In 2024, the Panthers entered the season with the lowest expectations in football. They weren't favored in a single game. They had a 4.5 game win total. A new head coach, a second-year quarterback, no pressure and no spotlight, and yet they still found a way to disappoint last season. Bryce Young's rookie year was one of the worst statistical seasons we have seen from a first-round quarterback in history. All the warning signs were there. In my preseason chapter last year, I compared his metrics to other rookie quarterbacks with 300-plus attempts in the past 10 and 25 years. He ranked near the bottom in every single category, including EPA, yards per attempt, and success rate. My conclusion? We will see general improvement in year 2, but overall, still bad performance. Unfortunately, even that turned out to be a little bit generous. The Panthers opened the 2024 season with a 47-10 embarrassment at the hands of the Saints. Bryce Young threw 30 passes and completed just 13. He was holding the ball too long, not processing fast enough, and not seeing the field. By week 2, the coaching staff was trying to force simplicity with super quick throws and low-risk concepts, basically anything to get the ball out of Young's hands, but it backfired spectacularly. Young threw 10 passes in the first half against the Chargers. His average air yards, just 1.3 air yards. And that number was inflated by a single 12-yard attempt, which was intercepted. It was the kind of performance that, if it had come from a backup quarterback, it might have gotten that guy cut. Instead, it got Bryce Young benched. Justifiably so. The Panthers turned to Andy Dalton in week 3. And that decision, made just 2 games into the season, told us everything we needed to know. For Dave Canales to make that call, he had to go to ownership. He had to face the front office, and he had to convince them to pull the plug on a quarterback that they gave up DJ Moore, 2 firsts, and 2 seconds to draft. That is a franchise-altering amount of capital, and they pulled the plug after just 18 career starts. It was a bold move, but it was also the right move. Dalton stepped in and immediately delivered in a 36-22 win over the Raiders, throwing for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the offense looked professional, functional, calm, and structured. And then, just as quickly as it started, it all fell apart because Adam Thielen, Andy Dalton's number 1 wide receiver, pulled his hamstring during that very game and was placed on IR. Dalton lost his top receiver. And then, a few weeks later, he injured his throwing thumb in a car accident. By week 9, Bryce Young was back under center. Not because he earned it, but because the alternative was unavailable. Young went 4 wins and 6 losses in his remaining starts, but 3 of those wins came in overtime. The 4th one, a 1-point comeback with 2 minutes left. In 12 starts, Bryce Young led at the half just once at the end of regulation. He was marginally better than in 2023. His success rate improved from 34% in 2023 to 38%. His yards per attempt improved from 5.5 to 6.3. His passer rating improved by less than 10 points, only up to 82. The reality is, though, these are still bottom tier stats for an NFL quarterback. He ranked 41st in accuracy out of 46 qualifying quarterbacks. He ranked 30th in EPA, 37th in yards per attempt, and 39th in success rate. Young's so-called late season improvement came against the NFL's easiest schedule of pass defenses. The number 28th ranked Cowboys, number 26th ranked Arizona Cardinals, number 25th ranked Bucks, and the 20th ranked Atlanta Falcons. No quarterback faced an easier schedule of pass defenses the final 4 games of the season than did Bryce Young. And even during that stretch, his success rate still ranked 29th out of 32 quarterbacks. But here's what's fascinating. Despite Young's struggles and the worst ranked defense in the NFL, there's actual reason for hope here for the Carolina Panthers. They made major investments this offseason. They drafted wide receiver Tedero McMillan at number 8 overall, and he joins Adam Thielen and Xavier Legette. They used their top 3 defensive acquisitions on their defensive line. They signed starters at multiple levels in the defense in free agency. And now they've built the most expensive offensive line in the entire NFL. That line paved the way for a top 5 rushing attack on first downs in 2024. Chuba Hubbard was quietly excellent. Number 9 out of 46 running backs in EPA, number 11 in success rate, and number 7 in yards after contact per rush. Carolina also has one of the easiest schedules in the league, especially early in the year. Their first 7 games are against teams with losing expectations. The Panthers don't face a single team projected to finish above 500 until week 8. That gives them time to build confidence and potentially stack wins. And that's why the Panthers, despite finishing 2-15 and 5-12 over the last 2 years, are now a legit dark horse to beat their win total this season. But let's not sugarcoat things. This defense was historically bad last year. 32nd overall, 32nd versus the pass, 32nd versus the run, and 32nd on third downs, and 32nd in the red zone. They will need a dramatic turnaround just to be average. And that turnaround has to happen against the league's toughest schedule of opposing passing offenses in 2025. So what does that mean? It means everything still rides on Bryce Young. The defense can improve, the run game can be efficient, the weapons can be better, the schedule can be soft. But if Young doesn't take a real sustained step forward, not just for 4 games against bad defenses, then it all is going to collapse. The offensive line is elite, the early schedule is favorable, the wide receiver group is the best he's ever had. The excuses, though, are dwindling, and the leash is short. Canales believes, obviously, he made the call last year to sit Young, but he's gone back to making Young the starting quarterback yet again. The 2025 Panthers aren't going anywhere without their quarterback playing like a starting caliber player. And if Young stumbles again, this time there may be no one left to convince David Tepper to give him another chance. Think you're ready for the NFL season? Not without this. 586 pages of straight up football intelligence and predictions for the 2025 season, featuring the sharpest analysis, betting edges, and fantasy insights in the game. Go to Sharp.Football and level up.